Let's have a look at our third perspective, video as text. Willis emphasized that one of the things that differentiates video from audio is the visual. And this is because the visual helps us to appreciate the complexities that exist in our sociocultural interactions, which we may not be able to appreciate well if we're just only accessing to an audio file, for example. Like Holek, Willis supported the idea that comprehension is only possible through a network of interactions between the verbal and non-verbal components. In a similar way, Swaffer and Vlaten suggested that teachers should provide similar learning opportunities. They argued that video is a multisensory medium which provides learners more than listening comprehension, as they have access to visual and auditory messages as well. Gruber cites Cosma to describe the elements that characterize media, and they talk about the characteristics of media in terms of symbolic systems, technology, and processing capabilities. In relation to symbol systems, Gruber describes dynamic visual media as a meeting place. He adds that interpretation of the visual elements must take into account the way such media combines, compares, and relates visual and verbal features to one another. So, for example, if we're watching a film, we can see that there is interaction between different devices, music, the narration, the actors, the sequences, the close-ups, and so on and so forth. All these interactions carry meaning. So reflecting on the nature of the text has important implications for how we facilitate learners' comprehension. Cosma argues that the characteristic of a particular technology have few pedagogical effects, except in instances where limitations may affect the convenience, portability, or the ability for a medium to be properly accessed. That means, for example, low volume settings, poor screen resolution. So actually, for Cosma, technology has few impacts on pedagogy unless it is not working properly. Different media provides different processing capabilities, different ways in which we can process the information that is provided. If students are watching a film that is in a VHS format, maybe you don't know what VHS is, but they're like these video cassettes, very big ones. The processing and accessing to this information is not as freer as it is now through digital video content. Being able to manipulate the access through video materials impacts on the learner's capacity to process the information that is provided. So perhaps a question we can ask ourselves is, how can we develop learners' ability to apply effective comprehension strategies in different media formats? Reflecting on the nature of video as text has important implications for how we facilitate our learners' comprehension. As I have mentioned before, the visual dimension is what distinguishes video from oral or audio input only. And as I said to you before, that Gruber stated that the visual elements compete and collaborate in message interpretation, he also suggested that these types of combinations of texts provide an important experience for students. He goes on saying that in today's globalized world, students may already have more or less experience of specific TV shows, dramas, films, reality shows, etc., that come from different places around the world. All these types of authentic texts can also be used in the language classroom. They can provide a glimpse of information regarding the cultural contexts of the different places around the world. The important thing is to enable students to experience this type of text through video, because they can help them to situate the information that is available out there within their own range of knowledge. The theorist Jean Piaget introduced the term of schema. According to his theory of cognitive development, children go through a series of stages of intellectual growth. In Piaget's theory, a schema is both the category of knowledge as well as the process of acquiring that knowledge. He believed that people are constantly adapting to the environment as they take in new information and learn new things. Richards explains the concept of schema, or the theory of schema, saying that it refers to what we know about particular situations and the goals, participants, and procedures associated with those situations. Cook, 1989, adds that the mind, stimulated by keywords or phrases in the text or by the context, activates a knowledge schema and uses it to make sense of this discourse. According to Brown and Yule, the effective listeners rely greatly on accumulated experience of listening contexts. Factors within those contexts enable the listener to make adjustments in order to comprehend what is necessary. The fact that listening for a purpose dictates very much what we comprehend and remember. Brown and Yule summarize those factors under the headings of speaker, listener, place, time, gender, topic, and so on.